on an all-new Dr. Phil.
She's 24.
They sent you to college, but you went to the mall.
Lives at home.
I say kick her out.
My mom just needs to leave. There's the door.
Stole from family.
What were the consequences of her robbing you of $7,500?
There were no consequences.
And has a real attitude.
We've been hearing this.
Can I talk without any interruptions? When I go home, I'm tired of being yelled at.
Move. Get a job. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
I try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Well, Lizzie says she successfully runs her own mobile animal grooming business at only 24 years old and claims she is hardworking and responsible. But her mother, Linda, says there is another side to her daughter that she has been trying to tell me about for the past 6 years in 12 different emails. Sorry. She claims Lizzie is a lying and title manipulator who has stolen $7,800 from her aunt's debit card and used her father's Social Security number without his knowledge to open up a PayPal account and racked up another $7,500 in debt. That's $15,300 that Lizzie stole from family alone. Even after this, Linda claims her husband Gary refuses to put his foot down and kick his daughter out of their house because he fears that her bad eating habits will switch from food addiction to drug addiction if they put her on the streets. Now, is this family for real? Let's take a closer look.
My daughter is a lazy, manipulative moocher.
My parents think that I cause a lot of problems, but I personally don't think I really do. Here's my thing. I call people out when I see that they're wrong. I call as I see it.
She drives my wife and myself crazy.
She's stolen thousands of dollars from her own family.
A couple of years ago, Elizabeth got hold of my Social Security number and opened up a couple credit cards.
These are some of the bills that you incurred, which you opened in my name without my permission.
She spent over $7,500 worth of charges.
Last year, Elizabeth did the same thing with her aunt.
I took my aunt's debit card and I spent it on gas, a couple bills, stuff for my dog, stuff for my rabbit.
She spent over $7,800. My sister is 100% disabled. What my daughter has done is a crime.
My parents need to just let the whole credit card and everything else, just let it go.
I don't trust her at all. Everything that she says is a lie.
We paid and even sent her to college. We thought she was going to school, but in essence, she was spending the day at the shopping mall across the street.
Honestly, I feel that my parents pressured me to go to college.
When Elizabeth was 18, it's almost like she became a different person. She really started putting on a lot of weight. She decided she was an adult and she was not going to listen to anyone about anything, and she knew all the answers.
Today, she's 24 years old, completely out of control. She still lives at her home.
I would love to kick Elizabeth out of the house.
With me being daddy's girl, that's never gonna happen. If I'm being a brat, that's my parents' fault because that's how they raised me.
Okay, now, let me just jump right into this. Let's just talk about the facts. Fact one, you guys have mutually defined this relationship, right? Whatever the family dynamic here is, you've all spent years defining it.
Absolutely.
And you've played a role in that, right?
Yes, of course.
You played a role in it. And you played a role in it.
100%, absolutely.
This isn't just all her. This is a family dynamic that has become highly dysfunctional.
Yes.
So, fact one, this is mutually defined. Fact two, it's highly dysfunctional. All right, question one, why? Why have you defined your family this way?
Before she turned 18, she was a model student and a really great girl. But when she turned 18, all hell broke loose. She just wanted to do whatever.
That's not true, by the way, but go ahead.
Okay. She wanted to do whatever she wanted to do and how she wanted to do it.
Do you really think she went to bed and then just woke up the next day and just became a Tasmanian devil? Or do you think that things happened along the way that shaped her to have an expectation of entitlement?
I'm sure, yeah, on the way. I'm sure she got that feeling of entitlement, yes.
She's an only child and an only grandchild, and she feels like she's the center, and she was. We weren't able to have children, and we adopted her at birth.
Right. Did you spoil her?
I don't believe we really spoiled her, no.
Yeah. You don't agree with that, do you?
My daddy and my papa both spoiled me growing up.
Yeah. Because
I've always been daddy's girl and papa and grandma's girl.
Yeah. Didn't you say you're a spoiled brat bitch?
I can be, yeah.
No, that's what you said.
Yeah, 100% I am.
Yeah.
But that's due to my raising. That's how they raised me.
So you're a victim.
To a point, yeah. But when you're little, you don't know any different.
Yeah.
You know, you adapt to what your surroundings are.
Well, that was then. This is now. You're 24?
24, correct.
You said you think she just needs to move out.
I agree. I mean, I can't even go home after getting off work late and go home and relax without getting yelled at.
Go to her home.
Yeah, go to my parents' house and go to my room and relax and watch TV before I go to bed to wake up the next day to go back to work. I'm tired of being accused of, oh, you're going out to go play. No, my business requires driving. I drive to my client's house and I go into their home and I show them how I handle their fur babies. You know, so a lot of what I do is physical labor. So when I go home, I just want to just chill and wind down before I go to bed.
And you don't like the way that's responded to?
No, it's constant negativity. It's constant.
You know, the solution to that is move.
Well, obviously, but I mean, there's.
Well, you're 24.
Yeah.
So you move.
With the bad decisions that I've made, that have negatively affected my credit score, and there's some. I mean, yeah, my parents are right in the aspect that I should get a real job, but it's like, you know, I do work hard, and there's just some weeks where it's slow, and then there's other weeks where I make a lot of money.
Are those the weeks that you steal from your family?
No, I haven't stolen from my family since last year.
Why do you steal from your family?
Because I needed help paying bills, and I was too afraid to ask because of.
So it was her fault that you stole?
No, it's not. It's not her fault that I stole. It's my fault for stealing. But if I didn't feel like I'm not allowed to ask for help because family, you're supposed to stick together through thick and thin, then I would have never done what I did. And yes, I am 100% at fault. To this day, I carry that guilt of stealing from my father and my aunt.
Do you exclude your mom from that on purpose?
Yeah, because I didn't steal from her. I stole from my dad. I hardly ever talk to my mom.
They're married.
But it was from his account.
Our account.
That part I did not know.
Have you made false reports to the CPS about your parents?
When I was little, yeah.
Well, I thought you said the problems had started at 18.
The serious problem started at 18.
Oh, these weren't serious.
Well, they were serious.
So
but
she
not to
made
the
false
fact-
reports to the police about being harassed by an
and
ex.
abused.
She said she was going to college but skipped classes, said she was going to a phlebotomy course but never went, said she paid off debt but never did, promised to save money to pay taxes and never did. So you really can't tell when she says something whether you can rely on it or not.
Right.
Right.
And how old were you when you reported to the CPS?
I was maybe only like 11.
What'd you tell CPS?
I think what I told him is that my dad had gotten pissed off at me one day when I was like, I barely had started 7th grade, and he had thumped me in the chest, and it kind of hurt, but I don't remember what he was yelling at me for.
So what did you do when she stole $7,500 from you? You realize I've been ripped off for $7,500. What was the
bill was in my
consequence?
name, so I paid it.
Right.
He was afraid it would reflect on his credit because it was all in his
Okay,
name.
gotcha. But then what did you do? What were the consequences of her robbing you of $7,500?
There were no consequences. She was supposed to pay me back, but she never did.
And the $7,800 from the aunt,
Yes.
this aunt is infirm, right?
Yes.
Yes.
She has MS?
Yes.
Yes.
And that was through credit card theft?
Debit.
Debit card.
She would.
What were the consequences then?
None.
How'd you get here today? What'd you drive?
My friend's car.
Where's the van?
You didn't
Over
drive
at
your
her
aunt's.
house.
You didn't drive your aunt's minivan?
No. That van has so many problems. I'm not going to sit here and risk it going through the grapevine.
What'd you tell our
I
producer?
don't believe
I
that.
brought it down. We brought the van down here the first time around, and then when I took her home yesterday, that's when she had just had me take her car because my van was starting to have issues.
Oh, so you did bring the van?
I brought it down the first time on Friday, yeah.
Okay.
See, she lies a lot.
Yeah. But then you took it back.
I took it
so
back.
So you made a round trip in the van that they told you absolutely do not bring that van.
Not to take, right.
Your
That,
aunt's handicap van.
that I got her. And I pay for most of the repairs on that van.
Linda says her daughter, Lizzie, received a phone call that concerned her. We're going to reveal that call when we come back.
When it comes to my daughter, it's just drama and attitude. Last week was, oh, my best friend was last seen leaving the house with a gun.
If my parents want the drama and the attitude to stop, they need to get off the merry-go-round and get their heads out of their ass.
And later,
He was my everything. And the day that I lost him, my whole world fell apart.
well, Linda and Gary say they fell in love with their first and only child, Lizzie, when they brought her home 24 years ago after an open adoption. They admit to spoiling her rotten, wanting to make sure their little girl had the best of everything. But now that may have backfired as Lizzie has stolen thousands of dollars from relatives as well as stolen her father's identity. Linda and Gary say it's constant drama with their 24-year-old daughter who refuses to move out of their home. Take a look.
When it comes to my daughter, Elizabeth, it's just drama and attitude.
What you just said, you're basing on what I've done in the past. That's the past, it's not now.
She has a horrible sense of entitlement.
I will be the first one to admit that I have a lot of attitude because that's just who I am.
She just comes up with these crazy, wild texts. Last week was, oh, my best friend was last seen leaving the house with a gun. I'm afraid he's gonna kill himself.
When Elizabeth gets upset, she calls the authorities. In the past, she's called Child Protective Services and has reported that my wife and I were abusive to her. It was just a bunch of lies.
One time Elizabeth stayed out late, so we locked the doors to the house. When Elizabeth couldn't get in the house, she called the police on us. It's crazy.
My parents expect me to be 100% perfect. They expect me to be like them. And I'm not them, I'm me.
My daughter thinks my wife and I are the problem.
If my parents want the drama and the attitude to stop, they need to get off the merry-go-round and get their heads out of their ass and realize that, hey, I'm not 5 years old anymore. I'm 24, going on 25 in 6 months.
Wow. What do you think about what she just said on the tape?
It's pretty harsh. It's hard to hear from your daughter.
Yeah. How does it feel when you see it played back?
It's 100% truth. I'm really sick and tired of all the stupid little games that are getting played. That's why I'm never home, is because I don't want to deal with the crap. I'm tired of being yelled at.
Move.
I'd love to, but you need money and good credit for that.
Get a job.
That's true.
I mean, seriously, I'm seldom at a loss for words, but I'm hearing you criticize this home that you are a guest in. Do you think that because these are your parents, that is your home and that you're entitled to be there?
Absolutely not.
Well, you act like you do because you're editing their conduct. You're criticizing the way you're treated there. I mean, isn't checkout time 18?
I would say so.
You're 6 years past that now, and she's still at home, and she's stealing from you and criticizing you, and she doesn't like the way you run the house. She says you sit around all day, watch television, and use a computer.
Oh, I do, sure.
Yeah, she wants you to get off your ass and do something. Right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because how dare you be retired? I mean,
How
She's
dare
worked
I be
40 years of her
retired?
life.
I'm 67 years old.
yeah, you're 67. Get off the couch, quit watching television, using a
Yeah.
computer.
What I'd
What
like-
is it you do want her to do?
I mean, at least clean that. I mean, we have house cleaners. Like, how hard is it to go that?
Well, let's look at your room.
Yeah.
True. Okay.
I got a picture of your room.
Oh, that's a good day.
Yeah.
Typically, there's dog poop or cat poop or something in there. This is a good day.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
What the hell's wrong with you people?
Well,
No, I'm being very serious. I'm just an old country boy, but I've always said you can call me a sumbitch, but you're going to do it long distance. You're not going to bring you in and feed you and clothe you and house you while you criticize me 24 hours a day.
I totally agree. And my problem is my husband doesn't want to kick her out. I do.
Well, Linda submitted this phone call message to producers to prove that Lizzie's actions are getting her into legal trouble. Let's listen to this.
For Elizabeth, I'm calling from the Criminal Investigation Department with the state of California. There's been a formal complaint that's in the process of being filed on 2 counts of financial fraud. Failure to comply will result in further action taken against you, including the dispatching of a uniformed officer to your home. You have officially been notified. I do wish you the best of luck moving forward.
Did you get that message? Mm-hmm. What's that about? Big misunderstanding, I'm sure. Get after it, Dad. This is your problem. They called her. That's your cue to step in and fix it.
I threw my hands up at that point in time and decided to stop.
No further action taken against you, including the dispatching of a uniformed officer to your home. You have officially been notified. I do wish you the best of luck moving forward.
Did you get that message? Mm-hmm. What's that about? Big misunderstanding, I'm sure.
No. Basically, Walmart's trying to sit here and say that I haven't paid off my card when my dad has it in his statements that once again, he bailed me out. And I don't understand why they're continuing to call when what was that collection agency that we tried to call that was out of business?
That's the one we paid for the $504.
Yeah.
But I think there's another account out there. with
No,
Walgreens,
I didn't.
so.
I never had 2
They're
accounts with
going
Walmart.
to dispatch a uniformed officer.
That's
Those
what
are the
it
ones
says.
that have handcuffs on their belt.
Correct.
They don't dispatch them out there to chat. They dispatch them out there to deprive you of your liberty.
Correct.
She
never called back.
Why would she? You're the one that deals with this kind of stuff. Get after it, Dad. This is your problem. They called her. That's your cue to step in and fix it.
I threw my hands up at that point in time and decided to stop. I had enough.
Don't you wish you had thrown your hands up when she was 11 and turned you into CPS, or 12, or 13, or 14, or 15, or 16, or 17, or 18? Do you think it'll be easier when she's 30?
No. Retrospect, I wish I would have done something.
Well, you know, I wrote a book a long time ago called Life Strategies, and I listed 10 laws of life in there. And life law number 8 was very clear. Could you read that for me, Dad?
We teach people how to treat us.
You believe that's true?
Yes.
And there's a fundamental value that I hold real true. And that is, in life, you just simply don't reward bad behavior. You just don't. I don't care if this child is 2 throwing a tantrum in the store or 24 ripping you off. You don't reward bad behavior. Is she emitting bad behavior?
Yes.
How much you paying her a month?
about $600 a month.
That qualifies. Lizzie claims there would be no problem if her mother would just move out. We'll talk about that when we come back. You need to grow up, you need to get a job, and you need to start pulling your own weight. It's just that simple. Closed captioning provided by...
I think my mom is a controlling bitch. My mom has always been overbearing, controlling, and manipulative.
We've done the best we can as parents. She doesn't appreciate everything we've given her.
My mom and I never really have gotten along.
If I try and tell her anything, it just turns into a huge fight.
I'm hardly ever home, so how do you expect me to do anything?
Elizabeth, I don't know why you think I always call Dad. I don't. I tell her all the time she needs to make better choices, and she doesn't want to hear that.
My mom totally just needs to leave because all she ever wants to do is go out with her friends. So if that's what she wants so bad, then there's the door. Go.
Okay. Lizzie says her family needs to get over her past history of stealing and just move on. So let's assume that happens. What's going to happen in the next year?
To be honest with you, I want to find a real job. I want to move out. I want to start getting stable. I want to get all my debt paid off. I want to get my own car instead of having to sit here and play musical cars. And I want to live like an adult, because I'm starting to realize the way my life is going right now is not where I want it to go. I should have been done with college by now.
Well, they sent you to college, but you went to the mall.
Yeah, that was when I was 18, and I'm like, oh, well, they don't call mommy and daddy when you don't show up for class. So I figured, okay, well, freedom, whatever. And now that I'm looking back on that, I could have been out of college by now, making $50,000 to $75,000 if I would have stuck with my original major, which was crop and livestock management, with ranching and farming and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
She sure knows how to tell you what you want to hear, huh?
Oh, she has no idea what I want to hear. She has no idea what I want to hear.
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about right there, is that you're automatically making that judgment. You don't know. I've never.
Elizabeth, we've been hearing this for a long time.
Can I talk without any interruptions, please?
Well, you always talk.
Say what you want to say. You don't have to. Why are you playing the victim here? I don't get this. You say that he's enabling her and you want this to happen. And when did you become the victim here that has no input in your own life?
Oh, I have input in my own life.
You say you're a prisoner in your own home. I
am, because
that's a victim.
We can't go on vacation because we can't trust what's going to happen to our home while we're gone. We have to get his 94-year-old mother to stay at our house so she doesn't bring all her derelict friends in our house.
That's being a victim.
Well, then I say kick her out. That's what I've been saying.
And you don't want to do this because you say, hey, I'm her dad. Dads protect their children. I can't have my child out on the street.
Correct.
And you've been
bailing her out.
Yeah. So how's that working for you?
Not very well.
So, you know what? We could stop a car out on Sunset at random and get somebody to give us a plan, and it would work better than what you're doing.
What I'm doing.
Right?
Correct.
I mean, seriously, there's no accountability here. Why would she change? What would be the possible reason? Necessity is the mother of invention. Why would she possibly change? There's no necessity.
Yeah.
She's living rent-free. Everything seems to be working out.
But she's still incurring credit card debt. She'll open up a card, max it out, and still go beyond. But I'm not paying for that any longer.
What part of your brain tells you that you are entitled to steal money from people?
I don't know. I don't. 100%.
But you continue to do it. And then when we ask you if you made payments...
How do I continue to do it? I don't have any
payments.
credit cards open.
How do we know that?
Because all my mail comes to the house, and you guys always...
You got the police calling the house saying you got fraud and they're going to come and get you. Something has happened.
Because if I haven't, that Walmart account has been closed for almost 3 years.
But I'm talking about other accounts.
The cops are coming after you. You need to grow up, you need to get a job, and you need to start pulling your own weight. It's just that simple. Because I'm getting ready to bring you some stormtroopers that you're not going to believe. And it starts with you. Closed captioning provided by
Elizabeth has probably put on 150 pounds since high school.
Both my parents are overweight, so where are my parents to judge on how heavy set I am?
Her eating habits are absolutely horrible. The stuff she eats, I wouldn't even feed to the dogs. The other night, I just saw her drink an entire bowl of gravy. My fear that if she doesn't get her weight under control, she'll have health problems when she gets older. Diabetes, heart attack.
My parents are concerned about all these health risks, but they need to leave it alone because it's not my parents' problem, it's my problem. So just knock your off.
Now joining us is a good friend of mine, host of the Emmy Award-winning show, The Doctors, Dr. Travis Stork. Now, in addition to being the host of The Doctors, he is also the author of the Lose Your Belly Diet, Change Your Gut, Change Your Life. And this book will be in stores on December 27th, but I wanted him here now for a reason. You can buy a copy while you're watching this show by going to thebooknook.com right now. And both Ghost Mountain Books and thebooknook.com are owned in part by my son Jay, in full disclosure. The Lose Your Belly Diet is not really a diet, but more of a lifestyle of healthy eating. And that's why I say this has a real important part here. And let me tell you something. I strongly believe that not a year from now, not 2 years from now, not 5 years from now, but 90 days from now, your life can look a whole lot different, because I'm getting ready to bring you some stormtroopers that you're not going to believe. And it starts with you. It starts with you because, Lizzie, look, if you don't value yourself, you're never going to do better in your life by your own definition. Everybody has a personal truth, and we generate the results in our life that we think we deserve. And you not taking care of yourself physically is just a symptom of not valuing yourself overall. I think that it all starts from the inside out. And so I asked Dr. Stork to be here today because I think it begins with focus. And I think it begins with focus on yourself, valuing yourself, and treating yourself well. I'm not talking about this aesthetics. She's not healthy right now. With carrying this much weight, she's not healthy right now. True?
Absolutely true. I think a lot of times people think about losing weight strictly from a vanity perspective. And one of the reasons I wrote this book, and I talk about it on The Doctors all the time, is it's about so much more than that. And we're learning in medicine, obviously, carrying too much weight puts you at risk for all the chronic illnesses. It puts you at risk for a premature death. But what we're learning now is so much about also how much weight we carry and where we carry it also plays a huge role in our emotional well-being, how we feel about ourselves. And I think bringing that all together is a really important thing that we don't often do that in medicine. And that's one of the things that obviously I wrote the book for.
And the benefits are clear. I mean, you do lose weight, you do have more energy, you do sleep better, you do have better digestion. It does boost your metabolism. There's less inflammation in your body. It strengthens your immune system. And there's lower risk of chronic disease, a lower risk of the potential killers that we deal with, right? Which we're talking about heart disease, diabetes, certain types of cancers, all of these things. And that's what you're worried about. And by the way, I grabbed a little freeze frame of a picture of you just a second ago in the video. Can we see that? Okay. Not exactly the best profile.
Correct.
Right? And you got half and half in your hand.
Had some coffee that morning.
Yeah. So this is something that from a role modeling perspective, we could do as a family here. Did you ever think you'd be in this shape?
No, never.
I mean, you've got to be shocked about this.
Absolutely.
And do something for me. Stand up. Okay. I want you to get on the other side of this stool. Over here. Okay. We're going to pick this up. Pick it up. Okay. Just hold it. You're carrying over 100 pounds. What do you think a stool weighs?
About that.
Weighs about 40 pounds.
Really?
Yeah. You're 2 times that. It's how much you're carrying around with you every minute of every hour of every day. Think that would wear you out if I had you carry this the rest of the day?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You're not valuing yourself. Coming up, we're going to talk to some people who have seen major results with the Lose Your Belly diet in just a few months. Then we're going to talk about what other things need to happen. We'll be right back.
He was my everything. And the day that I lost him, my whole world fell apart.
Since I started the Lose Your Belly diet, I've lost 15 pounds.
I've lost 26 pounds.
Since being on Lose Your Belly diet, I have lost 18 pounds.
And I have lost 19 pounds.
This is a lifestyle. This is how you should be eating all the time. All the meals are incredible.
There's a lot of variety. I don't feel like I have to give anything up.
It makes me feel healthy. It's just incredible. I'm looking at this to change my life. I feel perfect just the way I am right now. So thank you, Lose Your Belly diet.
We have our 10-year anniversary coming up, and now I want to go to Hawaii because I want to be on a beach in a bathing suit.
All right. New York Times best-selling author, Emmy Award-winning host of The Doctors, and my personal friend, Dr. Travis Stork, is joining me today to talk about a safe and reliable way to lose weight and return to health that really works. I brought him here to help this family by sharing some secrets from his book, The Lose Your Belly Diet, Change Your Gut, Change Your Life. And the place that I want to start is here. I want to start with you taking care of your body, you changing your lifestyle, you returning to health. Because it shouldn't happen this way, but Travis, you know this is the truth. Body image and self-image go up and down together. And your body image is at its absolute worst right now. Would you agree?
100%.
So your self-image is going to be in the same situation. Now, Travis, if she began to focus on this and do the things that are required here, it would mean that she's paying attention to herself and what she's putting in her body. Why is that so important instead of just having a diet?
If you commit to making a change in your life, your very next meal, you'll start to feel better. You talked about coming home, just wanting to watch TV, being tired, and I think what's really interesting is how once you start changing the foods that you eat, you will have more energy. Because as easy as it is, and you admitted it, to put on 100+ pounds, the good news is it can be just as easy to get it off. This doesn't have to be the way you live your life if you choose not to.
I want to change. I can't do this anymore. I can't. I'm tired of feeling like absolute garbage. You know, with me gaining my weight, it all started when I got with my ex, and then it just got worse. And then it got even worse when I lost my papa. And ever since then, everything's gone totally downhill. I mean, my papa was the glue to our family. He was my everything. And the day that I lost him, my whole world fell apart. And that's why I am the way I am.
When I read this Lose Your Belly diet, Change Your Gut, Change Your Life, what I came away with is it gives the person a sense of empowerment and control, because this is them controlling what they do, what they put in their body, and understanding why. I mean, this doesn't get you bogged down in science, but it tells you why you're doing what you're doing. So you understand, I push this button, I get this result. You understand, you did a great job of breaking this down. And I want you to start working at this. And simultaneously with this, the difference between a dream and a goal is a timeline.
Right.
Look, I'm a dad. I'm not going to ask you to go home and put your daughter on a curb with all of her stuff in a box beside her and hope it doesn't rain. We can say that, and we can get all rah-rah here, but that's just simply not going to happen.
Right.
What can happen is we can get you a plan. We can get you a life coach. We'll want to help you. And Travis is saying, start taking care of yourself. Let me bring you the experts that you need, and let's set up a 90-day transition plan here. If there was a plan with a timeline and some action steps, you could get behind that, right?
Absolutely.
You could get behind
Yes.
that. And you, let's start working. These are your biggest allies in the world right here. Have they ever left you?
No.
So come on, let's stop fighting among ourselves and let me get you a life coach. Let's deal with the specific things that need to happen so you start being everything that you can be. But I'm telling you, it starts right here. And this may seem like a funny place to start, but it is not a funny place to start because it begins with you, right? And that it's no accident. Change your gut, change your life, because this will put you in control of your health.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Are you down for this?
Yes.
You guys down for this?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Next, we're going to meet a couple who say they feel they look like they did when they first got married 10 years ago. We'll be right back. I was just talking about what's coming up tomorrow on The Doctors, which means you'll have to go tomorrow to be there on The Doctors, because we've got Dr. Travis Stork with us today. We're talking about the Lose Your Belly diet, change your gut, change your life. And let me tell you, this is the real deal. I kid you not. And joining us is Carla, who went on Dr. Travis' diet and lifestyle plan with her husband, Chris. So, guys, it's good to see you. You look great, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, tell me, how did this work for you?
The fact that, once we started, we're like, okay, we're going to get junk food out of the house. And when we could be together, we ate together, we planned meals together, and it just made it that much easier.
Carla's starting weight was 149.2, which she would kill me for saying if she was still there, but she's not. Her ending weight after 3 months was 124.8 pounds. She lost 25 pounds. Now, that's pretty good. Now, Chris' starting weight was 200.5 pounds, and his ending weight after 3 months was 177 pounds. He lost 23 pounds and has still been losing weight. So, are you surprised that you've gotten as far as you have?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't say surprised is the answer. I'm very pleased. I did this. I wasn't really able to exercise because I had knee surgery going into this. So I was really curious to see what changing the way we approached eating food and just the types of food that we would have in our house, how that would affect me. So very pleased. Feel like a younger, lighter version of myself. Like I look at that photo, I see my sad older brother.
Yes, exactly.
Like I don't recognize that person. This just feels so much better.
So Travis, are you proud of the way this turned out?
I am proud of it, and it's the one thing I will say I'm passionate about, because I've learned in life, especially as an ER doc, that you can either wait for an illness to occur and then treat it, or you can prevent it in the first place, live your best life, and it is. You change your gut, you can change your life.
All right, listen, the book is The Lose Your Belly Diet, Change Your Gut, Change Your Life. And I tell you, I highly, highly recommend it. I want to thank all of my guests today, including a special thanks to the host of The Doctors, Dr. Travis Stork, author of this fine book. Please go get your copy today at thebooknook.com in time for the holidays, and it will be available everywhere books are sold on December 27th. And everyone in the audience today is going home with a copy. All right, we'll see you next time. Thanks, man. All right, guys, thanks so much.